Prof, sir, this is your time to make your intervention. Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yes, I'll make it very brief. I will share a couple of slides with you.
Okay.
If you will permit me.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you enable? Okay.
Yes, Chike, please enable.
Yeah, the main point I want to present was actually leveraging from what was just said by Dr. Francis, namely that drugs can be manufactured here. And it is a very veritable source of income. And it's an investment that has been guaranteed by history that it is one of the quickest and the surest means of growing your wealth. In the country, not many people know this, that all the pharmaceutical companies we have, that what we can do most times is to be able to have drugs that are made elsewhere, what we call active pharmaceutical ingredients. And then here in Nigeria, what we do in the end is actually to formulate them and then see how we can be able to utilize them to make medicines. But in this particular case, in our dear country, we import virtually everything that at the end of the day, we don't have a pharmaceutical industry, so to speak. And this is an area Imo State can be able to do more than others. Not because we are better than others, but because we have certain innate advantages that we can tap on. The first thing that the pharmaceutical industry will continue being a very growth-driven industry. And then that the issue of manufacturing is getting easier and easier because of some development in the science. But the area I want to be able to focus on is actually that most people, when they look at the pharmaceutical industry, they see one big industry that is one industry that doesn't have segments. You can actually enter into the pharmaceutical industry and concentrate on the personal care. And you can see from COVID-19, a lot of people are just doing the hand sanitizers. The hand sanitizers that are made by the pharmaceutical industry, you will know from those that are made by people who don't have the technical know-how. The other issue, the pharmaceutical proper, which is what people are more interested in because that's the one that they hear. And as I said, we do not have any active pharmaceutical ingredients being made locally in Nigeria. The other one where is the area that we have some little bit of advantage here is the phytomedicine and nutraceuticals. Phyto is plant-based medicines, and then nutraceuticals are those that are in the margin between proper medicine and then food. And then, of course, the one we all know, the herbal medicine issue. But then on the right-hand side of it is what we call the biologicals. Sorry, I've moved faster than I wanted. If you look at the biologicals, you'll be able to see that that's an area, if we do our homework well, we can then be able to be competitive. The biologics here is, for example, if you've gone to hospitals when people are really seriously sick, the doctors will talk about having to put some certain biologicals, things that are extracted from animals. We can, for example, farm pigs in the States and extract only the pituitary gland from the pig. And you can say the pig as meat, but the pituitary gland that is extracted from that piggery will then be able to fetch more money. And then we can also do what we call biofarming. Biofarming is in a sense that you are actually growing crops specifically for medicine. It's the biofarming that I will spend 1 minute or two of my time to be able to explain what we are doing in the state right now. My little organization, Bioresource Development Group, have contacted the state government to be able to enable farmers to participate in the pharmaceutical business. What we then intend to do, that we have identified just four plants that regardless of the quantity they grow, they will not be able to meet the international demand for them. And some of them are simple things like the bitter leaf, which is Vernonia amygdalina. We have a variety which is now grown to be able to develop a particular drug. We call it biofarming because you are making the plant to produce drug for you. Since we don't have the technical capacity to do manually, so the drug will be made by the plant. The other one is the scent leaf, a particular variety of the scent leaf which we then produce, which then the farmers can grow. And then, of course, during the COVID-19, everybody in Nigeria, most people in Nigeria heard about the drug we manufactured, which is IHP detox tea. One of the ingredients that we produce it from. We will have only growers in Lagos and Oyo State because our own people are not into industrial farming. So the farmers that we have who produce for us now are based in Lagos and Oyo State. So these plants can easily be made to a part of the growth chain of the state. But much more importantly, this is where the caveat comes in. We have now encouraged the state government to introduce pharmacy school at the Imo State University. If properly done, and if Imo State University can see itself as an asset, not a drain pipe, it can be able to use some of these faculties to be able to grow wealth and be able to sustain itself and be able to return Nigeria to the state. One example, currently we have the ADAPAM. Now, there's something we call in pharmacy palm fruit bioactives. Please Google it when you have time. Palm fruit bioactives, when you make ofo, when they boil the palm without taking necessarily the oil, just for the water from the palm fruit is then able to be concentrated and then dried. It is an active compound that contains phenolics, we call it in the trade. Those things are more expensive than the oil you get from the palm oil. So if the School of Pharmacy, for example, can then start harvesting the other palm fruit, for example, you can then be able to have it as an ingredient for manufacture. We then have a situation like we have the cocoa trees and so on. If we can be able to cultivate cocoa and cultivate coconut, the coconut price in terms of oil, coconut price compares favorably, coconut oil price compares favorably with petroleum price. And yet you don't have to start the issue about licensing and all that if you can have as much. Right now, Nigeria is only able to be about 1% growth. What are the point I'm trying to make? That there is this narrow gap between the pharmaceutical proper and the agricultural proper. And if farmers and people who own land in Imo State, since we cannot compete in the traditional agriculture, we don't have the land mass. So we can then be able to work on specialty crops and then go into the pharmaceutical business. Pharmaceutical business from the point of view of deriving active pharmaceutical ingredients, not necessarily in terms of view of manufacturing synthetic products. The synthetic products, why we are not into it as a country, because you need so much of a downside of petroleum products to be able to develop those products. No single pharmaceutical company in the world can start and make everything by themselves. What they do is that each person brings something to the table, others add up to it, and then at the end you have a finished product. But in our own case, because we don't have those products that are behind the scene, the pharmaceutical companies are forced to buy from India, from China, from all over the world because we cannot make them ourselves. So there is no single pharmaceutical manufacturing company in Nigeria. The other aspect that is very tricky is the fact that the ingredients they use for making tablets and so on are imported. So making pharmaceutical grade starch from our cassava and so on, we need again technical input. That's why having a school of pharmacy at IMSU becomes a useful tool, not necessarily for producing pharmacies, but to be able to have a research base, to be able to have input into this segment of our pharmaceutical manufacture, so that we can then get into biologics and be able to get into biofarming, farming for the purposes of producing drugs, not farming for food. The farming for food is entirely different, but farming for the purpose of producing drugs is an area, because of the peculiar nature of Imo State, we can be able to tap in. And then what is then necessary again is that if you then have this biofarming in place, you can then be able to make specialty crops that can then compete with the rest of the world in anything that you are doing, so that we'll be able to have sources of income. The state will be able to raise the IGR, the farmers will be happy, and people will be able, instead of everybody waiting for the oil prices as it goes up, as it goes down. I've just listed those 4 crops. These are crops that if you cultivate them, my own company alone will buy, and others also will buy. The Anambra State, I think, exports Venonia and Magdalena, that is bitter leaf, for food. But I'm talking about growing specialty bitter leaf, particularly as drugs. And there are so many other crops like that. And if we get into pharmaceutical, not necessarily for the purposes of having a gigantic production setup, that's what. Then the aspect of also investment, I think Leostar mentioned it in his presentation, is because of the nature of Imo State being in the middle of other states in the southeast and south-south. We can be the distribution hub. We don't need to make anything again. The opposite. We can be distribution hub for the pharmaceuticals, and all we need to do is to have a logistic company that will take it from one place to the other. And that's an area that we can invest. And then if we invest in that area, all we need is just warehousing. Places like Okigwe in Imo State, which seems to be like in an intersection. Those going to Enugu can take their drugs from there. Those going to Rivers State can take their drugs from there. Abakaliki can take their drugs from there. Anambra will take their drugs from there. Onitsha traders will come there and so on. If we can just, the distribution network is so important. Right now, I think it's actually the Indians that are controlling that aspect of our business. So that if we can narrow Imo State and then have the logistics of being able to be a distribution hub for the pharmaceutical sector. So what I'm trying to say here that apart from the very open one that you make your medicine, people buy it, I'm talking about there are some other high yielding aspects of pharmaceutical manufacturing which are not very open, and which, because of our own peculiar nature, we stand to be able to add value to our crops, and we'll be able to compete. We don't have the land mass to be able to do that. If we can go into biologics, biofarming, and also go into the network distribution of the products others manufacture, I think we will have made some progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof.